string. Let's go with int a string in b. So we might want decimal point. So our first question is, how do we divide things? Let's just like focusing on dividing just integers, because we can also use the same trick to, like, we just factor out every decimal point we have, and then afterwards we just put it together. So So let's see. Alright, so we are going to assume that we are dividing this upper string by this lower string over here. So, okay. Oh, also we need to know when do we stop, because sometimes we'll just get ourselves into like infinite decimal loop. So we will say decimal precision. Okay, let's see. First thing that I can take a look at is... Oh wait, do we still have Microsoft Paint? Oh yes, we do. Alright, let's do it this way. So let's pull this thing out. So assume that we have this, whatever we have. And then our smaller number is this one. And then our answer will be written in R, red dot whatsoever, right? So first thing that I'll definitely do is just look at this. So in other words, it's almost something like slipping over to this side. And then see, hey, if this is divisible by this, but apparently no. So do the same thing again. Until when this is bigger enough to get divided by this. But I'm going to say, okay, it's gonna be a minus. So every time we do a subtraction, I have a counter. So let's just say our counter right over here, let's say it's 0. Every time I do a subtraction, this will get decreased. Every time I do that, I increase by 1. Every time I do that, I increase by 1. Until such that this is small enough. When this becomes small enough, I just pull in the next one, and then I output the number I have, and then I start from 0 again. Okay. Okay. So now we have this in our mind. Alright, let's see if we can code this thing. Okay, here I'm going to say assume that we have the following setup and variables. The string to be divided is this. The string to divide a plate string, we call it a left. Another plate string, a right. A plate string, let's call this thing R. For our final answer. And then over here, let's have a counter. For our current indexed guess. So in this case, we're just gonna say over here I'm just gonna say main concept. Over here I'm just gonna say file. I'm just gonna say toggle line comment and cut everything, paste over here. Alright, so I'm just gonna say so far we have the following. So in this case you will have string, plate, AL, which is going to be empty, string, plate, AR, which is gonna get initialized to that. Okay, and then we have string, plate, B, in B, there we go. And then string R or plate R is gonna be an empty string, and then we're gonna have a counter. Okay, int C. Starting at 0. Okay, so let's see. First, we're gonna ask the question. Now we can say now begin. One is plate AL big enough to be divided by plate B? If it's yes, and then no, okay, let's say assume it's a no. Okay, then we're gonna say pull the leftmost digit from plate A right to plate A left, and then go to step 1, which is this one over here. Keep on doing the same thing until it says yes. Okay, then go to step 2. So what is step 2? Which is, okay, we're gonna say right now plate AL is big enough to be subtracted by plate B. Oh, so it's not divided but subtracted. Okay. So this means that every time, okay, so we're gonna say plate B is, wait, no. Plate A left is plate A left minus plate B, and at the same time we're gonna do counter plus plus. There we go. So we have counter plus plus. And then now we ask the question, oh wait. So wait, because it feels like now we are just asking this though. Because whenever it becomes way too small, then it pulls another one and then export the counter. Let's see. Interesting. Counter plus plus. And then I would just say go to step 3. And basically step 3 and step 1 is quite similar. Just to see, hey, if this is still big enough to get subtracted by B. If yes, go to step 2 again and again and again and again until it becomes small enough. Then we pull the same thing again. However, we say export counter to plate R, and then counter equals 0, and then go to step 2. But there is also one situation where we can just stop happily. Which is the moment when the subtracted stuff becomes 0. Oh wait, is it? Okay, let's do some more experiments. So let's see. Assume that I'm gonna pick 1, 3, 4, 8, 5, and then I'm going to say divide by 7. So we know 7 Oh wait. Okay. Let's just take this thing and then we will simulate it by using our computer science way. Let's see. Typically saying this is actually 0. So, okay, I'm going to see if afterwards. Okay, so we can find any similarity in between. So 1, 3, 4, 8, 5, 7. The true proper way is we start from 0, 1, and 3. So that's 1, 7, 6, and then 4, 5, 8, 5, 9. Oh, that will do it. No, 7, 9. 1, 8. And then the 2. 7, 2, that's 14. 45. 6, so that's a 42. And then we left with a 3. And then 3 starts all over again, so it's, yeah. It's gonna be 0.3485, 3485, something like that, I assume. Let's see. 13485 divided by 7. No, it's even more than that. But yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. So, if we were to use our computer science method, what we have is 1, 3, 4, 8, 5. And then we have 7. And then we have starting with 0. This is our counter, but we still have our string. So let's go with first. First, the question that we ask is, we pull in a number and ask, hey, if this is good enough to get subtracted. The answer is no, because I was like, because the main idea I'm having over here is every time when you pull it, you output what is on the counter. Let's assume that that is true. I pull this one over here, so now I output a 0, which is this one over here, I assume. Next, I ask, okay, because I just pull it, I export. Do it again. I pull it. Wait, is it? Wait. Oh boy, iterative stuff is a little bit hard to track off. Get tracked by humans in this case. Let's see. Okay, assume it's not starting at step 1, instead it's starting at step 3. So right now I can just simply ask if this thing is bigger than, like, big enough for like plate B. If yes, then go on. Otherwise, pull, export, reset. And then maybe go to 3 instead. Yeah, that looks better. So you know what? I'm going to take a screenshot. And then gonna paste it over here. Okay, so we have that. So let's say we start from here. Okay, is this big enough to be subtracted by plate B? No. So pull the leftmost digit from this. Pull it. Export it, which we did. Counter to 0. Okay. And then again. Now, is it big enough? No. So we pull it again. And then we export it. Export it. Counter is now 0. Now go to step 3, which is this thing again. Now, is this thing big enough? The answer is yes. So go to step 2. Okay, so right now this thing is big enough to be subtracted by plate B, which is this thing. Like this thing is plate A left. This is plate B. So 13 will now become 6. And every time I do that, counter goes up by 1. Now, go to step 3. Okay, is this thing big enough to be subtracted by plate B? No, not anymore. If so, pull it. Every time we pull it, export it, and then counter is now 0. And then do it again. And now basically we're now over here now. So is 7, can 7 subtract that? So I'm going to like cheat a little bit. I'm just going to say after I do this 9 times. So after 9 times, this will become 9. After I do it 9 times, this will become 1, which is actually this thing over here. And then when it's not big enough, I'm going to pull it, and when I pull it, I export it, and then counter is 0. So let's get this thing back. Counter is 0. Okay, good. And then go to step 3 again. Is it big enough? Yes. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do it twice. So when I do it twice, 0 will become 2. 18 will become 4. And then when I come back here, I'm gonna say, alright, it's not big enough to get subtracted, so we are going to export 2, and then counter sets to 0, and then go to step 3 again. Oh wait, I forgot to pull it. Yeah, forgot to pull it. So that's how we get 45. And then, oh, we also need to like figure it out. Are they enough things to get pulled though? So you can see. So technically speaking, we can actually just use this as our beginning. So whoop, whoop. But now we need to like make sure, hey, can we really pull it? So so I'm just gonna say let's see, if we can, okay, or let's just say if there are digits to get pulled. So technically speaking, over here, yeah, and then I'm just gonna say now update this to the following, which is actually just copy and paste, and then just simply ask if no, we can just ask, are there any digits to be pulled from plate right or AR to plate A left? And then the answer can be once again yes or no. So if the answer is yes, then it will just simply just pull it. Else, if no, then this means that we have already reached the decimal point. So the thing that you can only keep on pulling is actually the zeros. So in this case, export decimal point to plate R, pull a 0 instead. And then every time you do this, no matter it is successful or not, you always go counter set to 0, and then you say go to step 1 again. And then I would say this one over here. Oh wait, export this to plate R. If okay, over here I would say only if plate R do not have a decimal point yet. Pull a 0 to plate AL. And then rinse and repeat until when we're good enough with the precision we have. So let's see. Counter. Wait, before that, I forgot it. We need to like export the counter to plate R. Also, we can like check. Have we reached our what was it? Desired precision? Either fract length for plate R is long enough. If the answer is yes, we are done. If no, and then we just do that. So basically, step 2. Oh, huh. So basically, we can just say step 2 is actually just this huge thing. So just and then just this, and then go back. So we just go this, and then we'll go that, and then we're good. So there we have it. But I would say now can be converted into code. So I can just say we need another extra boolean just to say job done. Oh, there we go. Before that, let me close this thing off. Oh, Nemo, welcome back, Pepe. I didn't saw you there because I covered my other screen with Microsoft Paint while I was doing my draft. But yes, now we are finally doing division right now. So, yay! At least now multiplication works with both int float positive and negative as well. So that's good. Alright. Job done. There we go. Job done. Let's set this thing to false. And then we're just gonna say while job done is false. We're just gonna keep on doing this whole thing. So let's just like copy this whole thing and then paste it over here. Now, yeah. So I would say once this whole thing is done, I will export this whole thing onto our team's website and everyone can actually download it and use it as well. Just remember to, like, you know, in the footnotes, just put the original link. So yeah, you know, plagiarism is not that good after all. So let's see. So we have that. So in this case, basically we are asking if plate AO is big enough to be subtracted by this. If so, we're just gonna like put this thing right here. Hope. Otherwise, no. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Borrow from the next digit. But first, we're just gonna ask if are there any digits to be pulled off from ARL. The answer can be both yes or no. So this thing get cut, put it over here. No, get cut. Oh, there we go. Paste it over here. So afterwards, we will export it, counter set to 0, have we reached our position. So if, just gonna say, have we reached our position? And then the answer can be yes and no. So cut this thing, paste it here, and then over here we're gonna say else whatever, then crop it, paste it. So the moment when we say we are done, we can say job done is true. There we go. So we have that. Or otherwise, go back to step 1. Or this means that, yeah, start all over again. Or basically just boop, we don't need that. So basically, if it says no, just gonna ask again, hey, if this thing is big enough to get subtracted by that. Alright, from the looks of it, this looks pretty good. So now let's do it in code.